Last night, which will be October the 9th, last night at 10:42 p.m., a vehicle containing a family was shot into on Interstate I-20 in Tuscaloosa County. This occurred around the 95-mile marker southbound. For our folks out there, that's going to be south of exit 97, traveling toward the city of Tuscaloosa, but before the Mercedes plant. At this point, we have no reason to believe that the family was involved in anything that would make them a target. They were traveling through Alabama en route to another state. They had not stopped anywhere in our county or for several hours for fuel or anything else that would put them in contact with anyone. Their vehicle was shot into multiple times, and the driver, an adult male, was struck and is in serious condition at this time. As I mentioned before, we believe at this time this family to be innocent victims of this heinous crime, and we're asking for the public's help. Again, this happened at around 10:40 last night, around the 95 or 96 mile marker southbound Interstate I-20. Again, this is south of exit 97, but before the Mercedes-Benz plant and those associated exits. And we're asking for anyone who was in that area last night who witnessed this shooting or witnessed any vehicles behaving suspiciously to please give us a call. We do not have a reliable description of the suspect vehicle that we wish to put out at this time, pending more confirmation. But to assist in memory of any possible witnesses, the victim's vehicle is a 2007 GMC Yukon, and it's dark gray or black, especially at nighttime would be described as black in color. And so we're asking for the public's help for anyone who was in that area traveling through the interstate along that time to please call us.
Jack, are there any similarities between this shooting last night and the one from last year that remains unsolved?
Yes, that was an immediate concern of ours, and that case is still open. On the surface, it does not appear to be related. However, that case is open and it is in the same general area. Unfortunately, it appears that these types of incidences are increasing. Just this morning, through a little bit of investigation, I've already located one in Jefferson County. Again, it's a shooting on the interstate of a random person or shooting into their vehicle. Does not appear to be related, but of course we're going to be investigating any incidents like this. Now also, if any of the public has had an incident similar to this, if they would call us, even if you've reported it to a law enforcement agency. Jefferson County has many different jurisdictions. If you believe that you've been a victim or targeted of anything similar like this, we would ask that you call us as well.
Can you tell us, I know it said it was an adult male that was shot. Where was he sitting in the vehicle?
He's the driver. And multiple rounds did strike the vehicle, more than one.
Where is the family from?
I believe they're from somewhere in Georgia. Well, they were traveling from Georgia to Texas. I'm not sure where they're exactly from. And again, I don't want to release too much information without speaking with them about their personal lives or their medical conditions. But needless to say, he is in serious but stable condition at this time. And we are, our thoughts are with that family, and we're working very diligently for them as we speak right now.
Without giving out their personal information, just conversations, either you or your investigators, what's the family state of mind right now?
Well, they're completely in shock, and they don't know. It happened so quickly, and they knew nothing. Nothing led up to this. They weren't even aware that they had been shot into when it occurred. I believe both adults stated they thought initially that one of the tires had blown, and it turned out to be the sound of gunfire. And it wasn't really until they stopped their vehicle that they were trying to piece it back together and discover what had actually occurred.
Since the person shot was the person operating the vehicle, how did they stop? Were they able to safely pull over? Did the passenger take the wheel?
Yeah, without getting into too much detail, they were still able to control the vehicle and safely pull over, yes.
You know what kind of weapon was used?
We're still in initial stages of investigation and processing. The vehicle is being processed by trained crime scene technicians, and we're gonna hold that information with us for now.
How concerned should people in that section of the interstate be? I know it's probably been almost a year, I guess, since that last shooting, but for two similar crimes like that to happen and no idea who's responsible.
You know, it is odd. It certainly is coincidental. We have no reason to believe that they're connected at this point other than location. If you look at the amount of traffic that travels on the interstate on any given day, it's been a year and a half or a year or longer since the last incident. Statistically, you probably got a greater chance of being struck by lightning than that happening. However, I would always encourage everyone to maintain observation and situational awareness of where they're at all times. As I said this morning, I've already discovered a report of a similar incident that occurred in Jefferson County last week. So unfortunately, we have a large amount of firearms in the hands of folks that shouldn't have them, and that's one of the priorities here. We're the Violent Crimes Unit. We work to suppress these violent crimes within Tuscaloosa County.
Can you tell us where the victim was struck?
I'm going to keep that as medical privacy at this point in integrity and investigation.
Jack, well, somebody had asked me, since it happened on the interstate, why is this a violent crimes unit case as opposed to Alabama State Troopers?
Yeah, the state troopers generally work cases that involve vehicle accidents, an intentional criminal act falls under violent crimes, or whichever jurisdiction. And here in Tuscaloosa County, we have the Violent Crimes Task Force that handles everything within the county. So, like I said, if this had been a vehicular accident or the result of driving under the influence or reckless driving or something of that nature, generally the state troopers will work it. But since this appears to be an intentional criminal act that does not relate to traffic or driving on the interstate, then it falls to the law enforcement jurisdiction where it occurs.
Were there children in the car?
Yes.
So that being said, can you rule out road rage or?
We're not going to rule out anything. The family does not recall anything that would have led to that, but of course it could have been a perceived by the suspects. Maybe they perceived being passed. It could have been mistaken identity. It could have been a direct targeting. We're not ruling anything out at this point. Like I said, we're just asking. There are obviously lots of other cars on the road at that time. It's safe to say that several of those probably witnessed that. We're hoping with the media's assistance that we can reach those folks and that they can reach back out to us.
You said the victim's injuries were serious. Would you consider them life-threatening, or is this something that he could recover?
He's in stable condition at this time. Of course, if anything that I would consider serious could be life-threatening, but he is in stable condition at this time.
And the victims don't recall seeing the vehicle alongside them?
I'm not going to speak to that. That's for integrity investigation.
Any other agencies helping y'all with this right now?
At this point right now, not directly, but as with our cooperation between us, we're going to be reaching out to Jefferson County. We already have searching their database of traffic cameras. We're doing that right there. Several of our crime scene units are working in tandem. Our cyber units are working again, searching these traffic cameras and things like that nature. So, like I said, we have what we call a full court press going on today, and we'll continue to go on until we run out of investigative leads to follow or any immediate evidence that we can recover.
That was good.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jack.
Okay.